couple of years went in really sorting out some of these political issues, I would say. But the last couple of years in particular have been quite significant from an economic point of view.
But could you tell me specifically, I mean, sure, I understand the point that after 34 years of a left government rule, it took a lot of work to undo some of the anti-industry moves that were taken. But specifically to improve ease of doing business, what are the steps that the government has taken in the last 4 years in terms of land or in terms of labor, in terms of the approval process? Any specific steps that you could say that have done you good?
Yeah, a number. You know, the first, I think one of the most important things that this government has done is that they set up a steering committee where they had senior business persons as well as all the senior bureaucrats. It was led by the Chief Secretary. And the main mandate of the steering committee was to identify sector-wise what are the roadblocks that are hindering development in that area and what are the policy initiatives that are required. And many recommendations were made, and many of them were also implemented. So that was one very, very significant, because I think the government realized that we need to ask the people who are wearing the shoe where it pinches, rather than to decide by those who are not wearing that shoe. And that was a very significant step. The second, which I think is very important, is that they issued, I think, more than 100 circulars with respect to ease of doing business, whether it was cutting down formalities of permissions, clearances. Many things were sequenced, they have been made parallel. You know, lots of new policies were introduced, lots of paperwork was reduced. So that was a second thing. The third, which I think was very transformative, was the e-governance part of it. And the government was able to install a rather robust, I'm told it's one of the best in India.
E-taxation?
E-taxation and many other e-governance initiatives. So I'm told it's one of the better ones in India. I have no comparative number on that, but that's what I popularly hear. And one thing that we have seen is without any increase in tax rate, there has been a doubling of tax collection in the last 4 years, which is very significant. So obviously it meant that there was a lot of leakage which has been possible to plug, and it has brought a more compliant regime.
Okay, on that note, we're going to wrap up